It's Tuesday, the 27th of April, and welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. All a little bit rushed this morning. I'm still trying to get a photograph to upload, so keep watching for this. Keep watching this space. We will get to the news headlines in just a second, but first, let's take a look at those celebrities that are celebrating a birthday today. And it's many happy returns to female singers Sheena Easton and Kate Pearson of the B-52s, Rock Lobster and all. And a very happy heavenly birthday to Samuel Morse, the inventor of the code that bears his name. And while we're in congratulatory mode, can I just say a massive congratulations and good luck and what the hell were you thinking to the team at Salford-based MC Construction. To mark the company's 50th anniversary, the company is looking to raise more than £10,000 for Northwest Cancer Research. The Golden Anniversary Challenge will see the firm's employees walk, run, cycle or swim a combined total of 10,700 miles, which apparently is the distance from its headquarters in Salford to Australia's Gold Coast. As well as the Golden Anniversary Challenge, a calendar of bespoke fundraising activities is planned throughout the year, including, good luck with this one, an 11,000-foot skydive for 6 of the firm's daredevil employees at some point in May. We wish those good-hearted, kind-hearted lunatics every success in their endeavours, and we will be right back after this.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.
Now, if you were here yesterday, you will know that we mentioned the fact that we were covering a whole bunch of stories that we were working on in the background and still trying to get confirmation on them. And one of those involved a scaffold collapse on a demolition site in the heart of London. Well, we're still trying to get some insight into precisely what happened. But since we mentioned it yesterday, multiple people have sent me a video clip that purportedly shows the aftermath of that collapse. Now, everyone I've spoken to has assured me no one was injured in the collapse, and it's thought that the collapse actually occurred over the weekend, so perhaps the site wasn't even operational at the time. And we're also yet to speak to the contractor thought to have been involved, but Construction Inquirer this morning is reporting that Erith is carrying out demolition work at the Leadenhall site. The Leadenhall Street site, should I say. This latest incident will bring back memories of a 3-week period back in the summer of 2019 when the industry suffered a spate of scaffold collapses. I can remember 4, there may have been 5 actually, but each of them was on sites operated by members of the National Federation of Demolition Contractors. The NFDC subsequently issued some guidance in conjunction with one of the member companies that had suffered a collapse that summer, but that guidance was widely received as a bit of a smokescreen to gloss over that spate of wholly avoidable and thoroughly catastrophic collapses. The fact that another collapse has now occurred suggests that either the guidance is not being used as it was intended, or perhaps it was a little less than fit for purpose in the first place. But we will bring you more details on that one just as soon as we can. Now, when I first became a journalist, way back in the late 1800s or thereabouts, I worked on a magazine called Contract Journal. Some of you older heads might actually remember it. There was a team of more than 30 people employed on that magazine. We had a news desk, a features desk, a technical desk, and there was a plant desk where I would while away the hours trying to look busy and generally hiding under the desk. We also had a contracts desk, which was half a dozen ladies that compiled details of all the construction contracts that had been let for each weekly edition. Now, in the office back in the day, those ladies were often overlooked. They weren't considered proper journalists. All they did was list contracts. The truth was that a good many of the readers of Contract Journal actually tore out the contract section in the middle of the magazine and threw the rest away, including the plant section, upon which I'd spilled blood, sweat and tears. And I can sense a bit of history repeating here. Having looked at the stats for this show, I can see which bits are watched more than once by individual viewers. And it's typically the bit that I'm about to do. Is anyone out there equipped to do a demolition on a residential property in Edinburgh? If so, New Age developers have set aside a cool £1.5 million to build a new block comprising 11 purpose-built flats at Barnton Avenue in the city. Muir Construction is in the running for to handle the new build portion of the contract. But first, someone needs to demolish the structure that is currently blocking the path to progress. You can find out more about this contract lead and many more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. Now, you know those stories you read in the newspapers about the teenager that hosts a house party while their parents are away and hundreds of people turn up? Well, yesterday I took to Instagram Live basically to do a test run of a regular new show that I'm planning on the platform. The main subject of the show was the postponement of the Balmer exhibition from April next year until October. It's a subject that's close to my heart. I love an exhibition, much as my construction collective colleagues do as well. And I specifically chose the topic because it's something interesting enough to allow me to try out the technology firsthand, but I didn't really expect that many people to be overly interested in it in the same way that I am. Well, just goes to show how much I know, because more than 1,000 people turned up. And if you don't believe me, you can check the stats yourself. Just go and have a look at our IGTV channel over on Instagram. Now, I'm pretty sure this had very little to do with me and was probably more to do with our guest, who was exhibition and event expert, Jack Sayward. But either way, a live audience of more than 1,000 people is astonishing. As a music fan, I've attended gigs with crowds a tenth of that size and thought I was having a great time. So needless to say, we're going to be doing it again. Our IG Live show will be broadcast on the platform at 3 p.m. tomorrow. That's the next outing. We've got a couple of topics in mind, but we're also mindful of the need to keep this pretty fluid so that we can react to any breaking news. So if you want to find out what we're going to be talking about, well, you just have to tune in, I'm afraid. You can find us on Instagram and just search for demolition_news and you will find us there. 24 hours before we go live at 3 p.m, I will actually put a countdown on our timer, so you can actually click that and get yourself a reminder as well. And if you haven't followed us already, just do so now. It will be a good time to do it. Going back to my music analogy, this is your chance to experience the show before we're famous, before the drugs and the hookers, and before the difficult second album. So I look forward to seeing you there. I also look forward to seeing you on Thursday evening as the Construction Collective rides again. If you love diggers, then you'll be like a kid in a candy store at 6 p.m. on Thursday this week, as we bring you great heaving piles of plant and equipment, the likes of which you have never seen. I think I might be overselling this a bit now. We'd love to have you along for the ride either way. I will also be back at 10 a.m. usual place for another breakfast show tomorrow, before getting myself ready to take to the Instagram airways once again. Now, just one more thing before I go. If you've been here for any length of time, you'll be familiar with the name Kenneth Hatcher. Ken is our resident backhoe loader expert. He knows more about the plant world than just about anybody I've ever met, and he regularly sweeps the board when we host one of our online quizzes. Well, if you've ever wondered what Ken actually looks like, now is your chance. Ken was one of a select handful of industry experts invited to check out the new JCB backhoe loaders that we covered on the Construction Collective show maybe 2 weeks ago now. And Ken's thoughts on those machines now form part of a post by our friend and Construction Collective team member, Nick Drew. You can find that over at the Diggerman blog that is hosted by Earth Movers. But to make life easier for you, I will add a direct link to that in today's show notes just as soon as this show is over. But until then, have a great day, everyone. Lots more to come. But in the meantime, stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends and your colleagues. And I will see you again tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon, and then tomorrow the day after in the morning, and then the day after that in the evening. I'm unavoidable. I do apologise. But thanks ever so much for tuning in. I know I will see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.